Gaps in my memory. I can remember all the big things in my life, the important things, such as my father, my stepfather, my mother, and my two sisters. I haven't seen or heard of them in years. Meaning my mother and my two sisters, since I won't talk to my stepfather and my real father's dead. I suppose my sisters could be married now, and starting their own families, or perhaps they're living independently like I am, but I doubt it. Most people like to settle and have a family. The life I've lived, wandering around with mercenaries, training to be a cipher, most people don't get this sort of life. I suppose I've been fortunate then. Most people are farmers, and then soldiers, and then a few number are merchants, and even fewer number are priests and people with titles and power. I've lived my life on the road since leaving home, well, before Cadnua, that was. After Theos' banishment, I haven't stayed in one place for so long since living with my mother and stepfather. Memories of one's life. They shape and mold you. But I think we inherit a lot of who we are from our parents. I've seen and read too many souls that lived just like their parents, or had siblings and they all shared personality traits. So we are part of what our parents were, and we are part of what our memories are. This is what shapes all people, but perhaps, as a watcher, I know there is a little room for the influence of a soul, and its past experience as well. Theos was the ultimate example of that, a soul that really only knew itself, no matter what body it was in. Let's go down into this river. Okay, you stand once more before the pool of water and the tunnel beyond. The water laps lazily at the stone outcroppings where you perch, providing a constant backdrop of sound. Swim through. I'll do it. So I go through, each taking a last gulp of air at the surface. Your party swims into the tunnel, following the cavern wall as it bends. Partway through, Keldonzatha starts to lag behind. Panic sets in as the remaining distance becomes clear. Adair returns to help, pulling Keldonzatha forward to safety. I come up into what appears to be another smaller cavern where sunlight streams in from an opening in the stone. This could be on the other side of where I was looking on the beach. It seemed like there was another cavern over there.
I've got it.
I have this in my inventory. It's like a spectral pet. It does help with my health. It helps us inside of here. I'm not sure where I got that from. I think I've forgotten where I got that from. Adair says it was just in my belongings. Okay. So I must have picked it up at some point in my adventures. How do you get over there? That is the way back, yes? And this is the way out? Does one get over here, though? Or is this where we came from? That's where we came from. So this is access to the other side of the beach, I guess, the hard way. Let's see if there's any survivors out there. Yeah, that was a difficult swim getting through. I'm not a bad swimmer, and I'm not afraid of the water, I just don't like the ocean. There's somebody else.
Told him not to bring that thing in there. Didn't like the look of it one bit. But no one daren't speak poor of his precious animancy tech.
The ghostly figure paces the length of the small outcropping with quick, deliberate steps, muttering to herself all the while. Her long cape flaps with the wind that blows from the in-between. The in-between is where the souls go. After death, and before
Special
life.
gift from his contact, he says. Now it's acting all weird. Gives me the damn creeps. You feel it too, right? Like it's looking straight through you?
She turns piercingly purple eyes on me. She shakes her head and resumes her pacing.
Came out here to get away. Couldn't stand it staring at me anymore. Then... Oh, my memory's fuzzy. Anyway, you want a Benwifts? Haven't seen you for, but he's been bringing all sort of new folks on lately. Can't hardly keep track.
This is somebody else, though. I don't think this has anyone to do with my ship. Looks like the rocks here did a number on your boat.
I think I remember something about a boat. Yeah, and some screaming. Look, maybe we should stick together. Feels right, you know? Well, with you being the only other thing around and all. I can give you a hand with, spirity stuff.
Sometimes they don't know that they're dead. I guess she does realize she is. Huh. Stay with me. I'll find a way to return you to the wheel.
I tell you, mate, I'd take anything over this endless grey. Even Remagon's frosty arse crack.
Remagon, god of entropy, cold, winter, bad luck, famine, and natural disasters. I remember that. A spirit tries to give me a friendly pat on the shoulder, but her hand passes right through me. Unperturbed, she grins and walks along behind me. Ah, well, there's some loot here to take. Might as well. A foul, briny stench rises from the sodden crates. Their contents rotten. Well, this would seem to be all that's over here. Yeah. Well, let's go back in there. Probably have to swim back. I think that's the only way to get back. Not looking forward to this. I'm an alright swimmer, but this is a bit of a stretch. The pool is still and quiet. Having made the arduous swim once already, I'm fairly confident I can find my way back. Okay, let's swim. That would seem to be it. So yeah, it's an abandoned hideout here. Nothing else much to see. So Adair assures me that he has the spark crackers ready for distraction in case we need to sneak past somebody again. Or we just distract them so they turn their back to us so we can give them a good backstab. There's a bridge outside that we can go and explore. It's a pretty place. I do have to admit that this area is quite beautiful. Oh.
I'll boil up some water. We'll have a spy at that leg of yours.
Should have seen me with that barrel, Angrim. I showed it who's boss.
Magran gives some of us simpler trials than others.
Bit of a crew we're getting back. I don't know how many people were on board that ship. I didn't have a chance to ask. I'm sure we're going to need more for our ship. The Defiance suffered heavy damage. There's not much sailing to be done with the hull so battered. Most of the islands in this region are inhabited. With a little luck, I'll find some assistance nearby. I found a trail leading up from the beach. There must be some kind of settlement nearby. Let's go look. Map of the area. Known locations. Valario's Rest. That's where we just came from. What's this? Looks like a small tent area. I found some ale, which I guess we can bring back to the crew. Let's follow the road. Place called Onnet's Fork. In the distance, I see a simple wagon. The angle at which it rests on the road, one side jutting above the other, suggests that it has been damaged or disabled. Even from my vantage, I can make out kith milling around it. I'll approach it openly. As near the cart, I make out a group of Ried-Saren pilgrims, in rough-spun linens and cottons. A single draft horse stamps at the ground patiently as two of the pilgrims argue over the front right wheel, which seems hopelessly stuck in the mud. One of the pilgrims notices me. Her step back draws the attention of the others, and a man in well-worn Gavinson steps forward. The weight of deep concern hangs on his face. Did the dreams bring you here as well? The other pilgrims looked at me with a mix of apprehension and hope. Dreams. We are farmers, come from Riesaris to work the colony fields here. We're believers, all to the one, in the light of Eothas. The other pilgrims nod fervently in agreement. A woman with a smiling baby lifts the infant's hand to wave. We've been having dreams. 3 stars sailing through the sky, piercing the black of a storm cloud. Figured it must be him, Eothas, calling to us, so we came here, to the place we saw in our dreams. The pilgrims look around, matching their sleeping memory to the present. We saw the giant pass with 3 stars on his brow, but... He sighs and gestures to the wagon stuck in the mud. Sad to say, we could not follow him. No. Well, these people are from the same place that both of us are from. I'm from Riesaris. Wheels stuck as stuck gets. None of us are strong enough to lift the corner up to get something under it. More than one of us tries, and we just get in each other's way. The other pilgrims nod and stretch, suddenly remembering their aching bodies. I'll inspect the wagon. Let me take a look. A brief inspection reveals that the wagon is undamaged, but the wheel is stuck fast in the mud. We have some wood, the old man says, as he gestures to the back of the wagon. If we can get the wheel up, we can slide that neath it. Inside the wagon, I see several planks of wood. A small box of valuables sits to the side. One of the younger Dawnstars looks at me, eyes wide. Reckon you can lift it? Attempt to lift the corner of the wagon. I think that Adair, who is stronger than me, should attempt this. Adair squares themselves to the wagon's corner, squats deep, and rests the wheel up from the mud with a grunt. A young Dawnstar stands in shock for a moment, reacting just in time to thrust a thick board beneath the wheel. It takes the better part of an hour to lay down a safe path for the wagon to roll free of the mud. The laboring Dawnstars glisten with sweat, but laugh happily as they sing songs of praise for Eothas. 2 hours have passed. Smiling, their leader presses a small pouch of coins in my hands. We appreciate the help. Without you, who knows how long we would have been stranded out here. They begin to prepare their wagons as I take my leave. I've gained items, 15 silver fenning. The old man calls out to me as we go. Take care of yourself and your soul, traveler. Whether you came for Eothas or not, we know in our hearts that he has come for us. Now, nighttime. I don't have the faintest idea where to go. Well, we don't exactly need to rest. Not for the moment. What's this? Found some fruit in trees. Probably take this back to the ship. To the beach where everyone's waiting for us. There's a port here. I can see it in the distance. We've been walking all night. It's now daylight again. Port Maje Harbor.
Hey. Gores.
Huh.
Better see what that crowd's about.
What if the giant comes this way?
Please, everyone stay calm.
Talk about Eothas coming back. The man at the center of attention appears to be fielding inquiries from both the gaggle of townsfolk gathered around the platform and a rather severe-looking Amanoa woman standing just beside him.
Please, everyone remain calm. I assure you I will do everything in my power to get you the answers you need. Our friends among the Huana
have offered you hospitality and safety from the storms.
The Amoana woman folds her arms.
Yes, I think we are all keenly aware of the debt of gratitude we owe to the...
I have personally seen to the safety of your homes. Now you will do the same for our families.
What about our families?
What about the ships? How are we supposed to feed ourselves? If everyone would...
As Clario's gaze sweeps across the crowd, it falls upon me, where it remains. A few more heads turn to see what has caught the governor's attention.
It's one of the pirates!
At this alarmed cry, the whole of the crowd turns to regard me. A startled, expectant hush falls upon the gathered throng. My ship ran aground just south of here. I need help.
2 of my guards reported a ship flying deer wooden colors, fallen prey to a private vessel. That would be your ship, I assume.
The crowd quiets somewhat at that, though I still find myself the target of a few glares.
That would make him lucky. Your own vessels do not usually fare so well.
The woman regards me with bland curiosity.
Quite.
I just need some repairs and I'll be on my way.
Percamblanca, everyone, forgive me. I believe this matter requires my attention. You have my word that I will keep you apprised of any changes. Especially you, Mr. Ikawa.
Do not flatter me with Valian titles. You are distracted with your newcomer and wish me gone. But I will not go far, Governor Clario.
Geralde, as for you, stranger, let us speak at my estate. We'll discuss your predicament.
Hey, Darren's now? This town has gone to the dogs. Okay.
Hey. Well, don't see why not.
What
Yeah?
A fair wind to you. So I take it he went this way? The governor's mansion? Huh. That's an interesting looking person. So many mouths to feed. How did the Valians do it? Okay. He said he wanted to talk about it. Or maybe he just wanted to get away from that woman. There he is.
Will do.
Okay.
Ah, yes, there you are. As governor and under the auspices of the Valian Trading Company, please allow me to officially welcome you to Port Maje.
He spreads his hands in a subdued flourish.
Apologies for that little drama outside. These are confusing times, and people often react poorly to uncertainty. Between the storm, the pirates, and the, well, certain strange events, we are all a little on edge.
Spreads his hand in apologetic gesture. Strange events.
A few, well, quite a few people here in Port Maje claim to have seen a giant of some kind during the storm.
He winces.
I would call it a flight of fancy, but unless something has tainted every well in the region, I do not think it can be ignored. But then, the Deadfire is a land full of such things. You must have heard the stories.
That wasn't just a giant, it was Aethys. The governor mounts a voiceless ah of understanding and studies me for a moment.
You'll find good company among the Dawn Stars here in town. They have all manner of theories concerning the behemoth.
He rifles casually through a few papers.
Now, to the matter of your ship. You're stranded, are you? It was a rough landing by all reports. Unfortunately, our own ships are in no condition to sail. We've had dealings with the pirates ourselves. They've taken their share of supply ships. The storm saw to those berthed in the harbor. All that said, I believe I may have a solution, provided you're willing to help me in turn.
What could I do for you? I just got here.
Indeed. Which means I can spare you, whereas I cannot spare the guards. I have the guards on the lookout for pirate vessels looking to take advantage of whatever damage the storm caused. We've cannons enough to see them off, but I need every man ready to use them. There is a site of some considerable value elsewhere on the island. A value to the trading company, you understand. In point of fact, it's the very reason any of us are here. You're familiar with the luminous Adra trade?
I know that luminous Adra is supposed to house more concentrated essence.
It's also quite valuable. When refined, it sells for considerable sums. The trading company has invested a lot of time and money into locating sites suitable for mining and processing.
How does one go about refining Adra?
How indeed? That, I'm afraid, will remain a trade secret.
Okay.
We, and I hope you understand that these matters require some discretion, have one such outpost on the other side of the island. A successful venture, up until very recently. We sought to improve the refinement process. To that end, we hired some of the brightest minds in the field of animancy and brought them out here to lend their expertise.
Animancy is the science of soul manipulation, a field both controversial and relatively new, banned in some nations like Aedir, but permitted in other countries like Durwood and the Valian Republics. When I spoke to the Duke during that great big meeting, I actually supported the use of animancy.
And then one evening, a storm rolls in out of nowhere, and my scouts begin to report that a giant has marched its way across the island towards my dig site. What am I to make of that?
I don't know what to make of it either, honestly, but I would like to find out if something, how I could get its attention to stop and communicate with it.
We haven't heard from Mestre Odorisi since, nor any of his assistants, or the workers. I must know what has happened. If his work is lost, then everything that we have worked for is at risk. Which is where you come in. You need a ship, I need information. See to this for me, and I'll set half the town to work. We'll patch up your ship, and you'll be free to go on your way.
Aethys is out there stomping across the island, and you're worried about some research?
Well, if Aethys happens to strike down the council, perhaps then I will have time to spare for him.
Clario lets out a sharp breath, evidently flustered by his own outburst.
Please do not repeat that. We each have our debts. Whatever you believe is going on, you can see it for yourself. That is precisely what I want.
And if I find this Odorisi?
Why, take his report on the situation and remind him that he's under certain contractual obligations. And relay my deep relief at his good health, of course.
Do you have any idea what might have happened?
The Huana storm speakers should have kept the worst of the weather at bay. I can't imagine what else might have happened. There are wild beasts on the island, but they wouldn't have attacked an active dig site.
I suppose I can do that.
Gillard, then we are agreed. I will assign men to keep watch over your ship. You will find the dig site on the eastern side of the island. I'll mark it on your map here. One more thing. If you should recover Odorisi's notes, know that they would be of great value to me.
Hey. Of course.
Recover his notes. All right. Hello? Clario awaits you inside. Yeah, I'm already done with him. Nestled between the empty dishes and casks are an array of strong-smelling spices. I don't want to take anything from here. I'm just exploring. Kind of reminds me a little bit of back home, except that there's a lot more stone everywhere at Cadnua. Reminds me, because that's the only home I've known for the last few years. And now it's gone. Utterly destroyed by Aothas. So, Port Maje. I'd like to look around the town a little bit if I can.
I've got it.
Most of the postings offer various goods for trade, though I spy at least one crude drawing of what may be the governor. Repair supplies. Hello?
Ado, begging your pardon for the mess, sir. We are still recovering from the storm. We have supplies here for the paying customer. Provisions for the road, perhaps?
I don't know if I have much coin, but let me see what you have.
Have a look.
Repair supplies. These are things that I could buy with... I do have some coin. Not much. Is this armor? A helm. She says it's called Death's Maw. Cannon shot, medical supplies, repair supplies. I'm not sure how much we'll need of everything, but they did say that they would repair it, so... Let's see. What could we sell? Well, certain things like this. Don't need a crossbow. Or leather armor. Dagger. Simple clothing. What is this? Warhammer? Probably not. Torch. No, some kind of coat. Don't need that. Principe hat. Well, could wear it if we wanted to, I suppose. Breastplate. Let's see. It's about as good as what I'm wearing. We could keep that for now. And a bunch of pistols. A bunch of shields that we picked up. Only Dare uses that. Oh, we have a hat. Captain's hat. Fresh fruit that we picked up. Sun bomb. Waterlogged note. Still no sign of Benwith. How much longer are we going to wait? The wet's already ruined half our take. And get your stinking construct under control. It's been hanging out by that crystal. I swear it's been giving me the eye. So that was from underneath. That was in the cavern. Under the waterfall. So a lot of these things could be used to craft items. So I think that we'll, for now, we'll sell this. If we need to get anything, again, we'll come back. I don't have that much money where I can just throw it away on everything. There's no nice helm here that I could be wearing, but supplies for the ship might make me come back. Now, as for the helm, well, it's a hat. It's not going to really protect me very much. I am the captain, after all. I might as well get into the role. There's a hat here for you. You can wear this one. If I have to wear the captain's hat, you can wear that. I'll click on my mates.
Something.
Fresh fish!
Oh. Fish from there. No one seems to mind.
Race
I
you
had
to the
many
coral.
fish here to trade. I caught them myself.
The Amoa grins proudly. Let me see what you have. Oh yes, you do have a lot of fish, so you might need that if we're going to be
No
traveling around
contest.
the islands.
What? Just because you have webbed fingers and I can't swim?
You are a strange man.
The traders whine and cry. Do they forget how to hunt? The smell of the ocean. Yeah. One of their ships, I guess either the storm or the pirates destroyed it. Well, let's just go exploring. I guess you can get used to it.
Will do.
Fish and bread. Amira, protect you.
The Juana ought to keep to themselves.
And when the next storm hits,
So these Juana are people that protect them from storms. They're some kind of mage? Magical users? I knew the Deadfire was full of strange beasts, but I did not expect one so large. No, I never expected one so large to come up from underneath Adnua and destroy everything and pretty much kill me. It's quite eclectic, all the people here. People coming in from all over. Okay, so this looks like a tavern. It says the Kraken's Eye. Hello? Do you know the story behind the Kraken's Eye? Can't say that I do.
Sorry, we haven't any rooms for you.
The rather large man behind the counter glances my way, smiling grimly.
Guessing you're the one came in off that shipwreck down south. Not sure if that's good luck or bad, but here, I figure you deserve a drink.
Oh, thank you. Could use one. How can you tell, though?
We're full up. You aren't the first outsider to turn up looking for a place to stay after their ride off the island ended up at the bottom of the sea.
He pauses, fixing me with a considering eye.
Well, tell you what. I've got one room or two have been cleared out by now. Only the occupants decided to outstay his welcome. Real trouble is, he hasn't settled his bill.
So that's what you want.
He's a merchant captain by the name of Galleon. I've given him a fair chance, but he's been a right prick about the whole thing. I've got a spare key here. You chase him and his pals off, and the room's yours. At a discount.
He slides the key across the counter towards me. What if he won't leave willingly?
Ah, well. He's a prat, but he's not so tough. Smack him around if it comes down to it. But I figure a few sharp words ought to do the trick.
I'll see what I can do.
I appreciate it, truly. I'll have someone tidy the place up for you once you're through. Chances are they've spilled ale just about everywhere. I don't want the man dead, and that's not what I'm paying for. Just see him on his way and we'll call it done.
With a final nod, he turns away. Well, looks like I have something to do to find a place for the night, if I want it.